All right, folks. John Tyler. We just last episode talked about William Henry Harrison, who served for all but 3 weeks. Believe it or not. Now we're gonna do John Tyler. All right. So John Tyler was born. By the way, this is a featured article, which is a treasure trove in terms of Wikipedia. Very rare, very good. The best of the best. Premium. All right, enough BS. Let's go. So John Taylor was the 10th president of the United States, serving from 1841 to 1845 after briefly holding office as the 10th vice president in 41. He was elected vice president on the 40 Whig ticket, okay? We have Whigs. Forget Democrats, Republicans. This is the 40s, the 1840s. This is the beginning. This is like towards the middle of the 19th century. And there is a Whig party of whom Tyler is the ticket. So with President William Henry Harrison succeeding to the presidency following Harrison's death 31 days after assuming office. So basically a month. He served for 1 month. Tyler was a stalwart supporter. What does that mean? Stalwart. Loyal, reliable, hardworking. So he was a stalwart supporter and advocate of states' rights, including regarding slavery. He adopted nationalistic policies as president, not only when they did not infringe on the state's powers. Let's do that one more time because I didn't understand. He adopted nationalistic policies as president only when they did not infringe on the state's powers. Okay. His unexpected rise to presidency posed a threat to the presidential ambitions of Henry Clay and other Whig politicians and left Tyler estranged from both of the nation's major political parties at the time. So basically, William Henry Harrison becomes POTUS for a month, dies, and there's calamity. Calamity ensues. Maybe I'm exaggerating by saying calamity, but they weren't prepared for that type of problem or deal, and the succession hadn't been clearly illustrated, or I'm using the wrong word. Illustrated isn't the right word, but it wasn't clearly legislated, perhaps, like what the proper steps were to do in case of POTUS dying a month in. Tyler, who is the vice, he's the VP, becomes the POTUS, and other people in the Whig Party, perhaps people that thought themselves more capable, more. I don't have the right words this morning. I'm sorry, folks, but I guess Henry Clay felt himself more like he should have been the president I guess in Henry Clay's terms. So he's having problems, of course, with his own party, the Whig Party, and other parties because he's not a member of those parties. So he's estranged, which sucks. Let's have a look at the pic. See the guy? There he is. Kind of long hair. You don't see that often. Kind of with the long hair almost down to his ears, it seems. It's a photographic print. Okay. Let's keep reading. Let's keep zooming. So, Tyler was born into a prominent slaveholding Virginia family. I'm kind of screaming. Sorry, folks, if I'm screaming at you. I'm going to try to tone it down a little bit. Okay, so Tyler was born into a prominent slaveholding Virginia family. He became a national figure at a time of political upheaval in the 1820s. The Democratic Republican Party at the time, the nation's only political party, Split into several factions. Initially a Jacksonian Democrat, Tyler opposed President Andrew Jackson during the nullification crisis, as he saw Jackson's actions as infringing on states' rights and criticized Jackson's expansion of executive power during Jackson's veto on banks. This led Tyler to ally with the southern factions of the Whig Party. He served as a Virginia state legislator and governor, U.S. rep, and U.S. senator. Tyler was a regional Whig vice presidential nominee in 36. In the 36 presidential election, they lost. The Whigs lost. He was the sole nominee in the 40 Whig presidential ticket as William Henry Harrison's running mate under the campaign slogan Tippecanoe and Tyler too. So Tippecanoe being the nickname of William Henry Harrison from his time as a soldier and major general and so on. And so that's Tippecanoe and Tyler too. The Harrison-Tyler ticket defeated incumbent President Martin Van Buren, who was the president, I guess he's the 8th president, who only had one term. Okay. So President Harrison died just 1 month after taking office, and Tyler became the vice president to succeed to the presidency. Amid uncertainty as to whether a vice president succeeded a deceased president or merely took on his duties, Tyler immediately took the presidential oath of office, setting a lasting precedent. All right, so this just created a precedent that would reverberate into 2025 and into the present day. Something that happened in 1840. I think it was 1841. He signed into law some of the Whig-controlled Congress's bills, but he was a strict constitutionist, whatever that means, and vetoed the party's bills to create a national bank and raise tariff rates. That's something that's actually talked about in right now on the news. The incumbent president of the United States is raising tariffs, something that's happening in the 1840s. So he believed that the president, rather than the Congress, should set policy. And he sought to bypass the Whig establishment led by Senator Henry Clay. Almost all of Tyler's cabinet resigned shortly into his term, and Whigs expelled him from the party and dubbed him as his accidency. How rude. Not his presidency, his accidency. They said, I guess they felt like he wasn't deserving of the presidency. What a terrible thing that is. So Tyler was the first president to have his veto of legislation overridden by Congress. Can you believe it? The guy's the president, and his own Congress is vetoing him. That's almost absurd. He faced a stalemate on domestic policy, although he had where is this? Including the Webster. Sorry. Let's see. I'm gonna get rid of this because it's a bit confusing me. So he faced a stalemate on domestic policy, although he had several foreign policy achievements, including the Webster-Ashburton Treaty with Britain and the Treaty of Wangia with China. Interesting. He was a believer in manifest destiny. If you don't know what that is, neither do I. We'll look it up soon. And saw the annexation of Texas as economically and internationally advantageous to the United States, signing a bill to offer Texas statehood just before leaving office. Okay, so that is interesting because it was its own thing in the 1840s. When the American Civil War began in 1961, Tyler at first supported the Peace Confederacy. When it failed, he sided with the Confederacy. He presided over the opening of the Virginia Secession Convention and served as a member of the Provisional Congress of the Confederate States. Tyler subsequently won election to the Confederate House of Representatives. If y'all don't remember what Confederacy is, and the Civil War was, and all these terms that are in blue here, don't be alarmed. I don't really remember what they are either. I'm planning to, at some point, read a little bit about them. But yeah, this is all. I'm just as confused as you are. Some scholars have praised Tyler's political influence, but historians have generally put Tyler near bottom quartile. Jeez. When ranking the U.S. presidencies, Tyler is praised for helping in the creation of this treaty, which settled the border between Maine and Canada. He also helped stopping African slave trafficking, which was still, I guess, happening in those days. Into the 40s, they're still trafficking slaves into the U.S. Unbelievable. It is believable, actually, but it's insane. Today, Tyler is seldom remembered when in comparison to other presidents, maintains only a limited presence in American cultural memory. So, let's see what happens here. He's in office from 41 to 45. He finished the term, but it kind of sucks. Because his own, it's interesting that the Whig Party, turned a cold shoulder on him. And I don't know how much this fellow Henry Clay has to do with it, where they mentioned him briefly in one of the paragraphs. There he is, Henry Clay. He seems to have rabble-roused quite a bit within the Whig Party, and I guess he turned the party against him. Let's add it to the reading list. All right, that's it for this one. See you guys hopefully on the next one if I have the energy to continue chugging through every single president of the United States of America. All right, guys.